Okay, hi everyone. Please confirm if anybody can hear me. You can just maybe use an emoji or something to just react that you can hear me. All right, yes, at least I see an emoji that indicates that we can hear us. All right, so we're already behind schedule a lot, but we're still going to make the most of the opportunity we have. So I'll quickly share my screen to share Aisha's presentation. Aisha, okay, confirm that you can see my screen.
I think it's coming up over now.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so I guess we just have 10 minutes and apologies. I think, we went into some technical difficulties. I would briefly just go through what we have as our topic for today, which is I'm supposed to, bring you into speed on our strategy around lean transformation at EHA Clinics, and also how this strategy has translated to daily practice. So as you're well aware, my name is Aisha Amira Saidu. I'm the Senior Manager Continuous Improvement Office at EHA Clinics, and I'll be taking you through this very brief presentation. Next slide, please, Opina. Okay, so this just takes you through the journey. So we started our journey in 2021 all the way till date, and then just gives you a graphical presentation as to what milestone we had, gone through, at every stage. So I will be talking more in the other, slides. Next slide. All right. So in 2021, EHA Clinic started its lean transformation journey. And, of course, being that we wanted to start our lean transformation journey, we had to also look at what kind of model we would like to deploy, which is the lean maturity model, as you can see from the side. So this sort of gives us a baseline as to where we are and, how do we want to achieve to a level 5. So of course, we would start assessing ourselves from a level 1, and, all the work that we do in terms of the implementation and our self-assessment, we guide us to a level 5. And as this was a leadership goal, we needed to ensure that we align this strategy with our daily work and sustain our improvement across levels. And we then adopted also a self-assessment tool. The idea was to use this tool to ascertain where we are at every point of our implementation all through the years. And this was supposed to assess our leadership, commitment, standard work, communication, and daily management system. And of course, we understand that, lean is not a project. It's like a continuous journey, and it's a culture shift, right, towards a sustainable performance at the end of the day. Next slide, please, Opina. So where we started, in 2021, 2022, we majorly focused on, structuring the team. So the team comprised of myself and a coordinator, so just two of us. And EHA Clinics is an organization that has about 7 locations with about, almost 400 employees. So you must think, of course, being just the two of us, we needed to ensure that we're also ready and capable of seeing how we could transform the organization in general. And what we had done was to also ensure that we had the certification and the skills required. So we enrolled in different certifications, like from the Catalysis platform, and also, we're able to get our Lean Six Sigma Black Belt certification. We also created, some coaching resources for the team members. And then as of 2023, we were then ready to see how we could, where we are. And this was when we deployed our first lean maturity self-assessment in May. And, the score at the time was 4. So this was about 4/5. We also understood that, of course, this might be a bit skewed because this is the first self-assessment that we have done for ourselves and the organization. And, a lot of times employees would always want to put in scores that's, are outrageous. So we just looked at this and then we focused on the areas that we wanted to improve, right, based on what the scores were. And some of the areas were around leadership transparency and humble inquiry, daily management system and tiered hurdles, consistent Gemba works, A3 thinking adoption. And also this became a baseline for our transformational roadmap. Next slide, please, Obinna. So, of course, we just sort of intensified looking at those reassessments, improvement areas. And then we then did another reassessment focusing on only those improvement areas in November where we noticed some incremental gains, right? Because we put a lot of work around those specific areas. Our leadership culture and psychological safety was identified as an enabler for our lean culture. We noticed that a lot of times people were a bit more open to speaking to our leaders and, deploying the daily management system was a very helpful tool because team members from the front line were able to hear what the leaders are saying, at every point in time, they were able to access that. And it just also created a space of humility for the leaders as well to be able to have conversation with team members. Then also the Gemba Works was also one thing that was really good to really help this our line of maturity. The Gemba Works that we did also was a very helpful one for us and, thus sort of strengthened, what we wanted for our maturity by November 2023 when the results came out. Next slide, please, Obinna. So of course, we just continued, what we were doing in terms of executing our daily improvements and just looking for areas that we can look to improve. We also deployed the PDCA, which is, of course, plan, do, check, act, check and act. And the idea was to look at all the areas that we're focusing on continuously improving to see how we're able to improve over time using this plan PDCA tool. And, this is looking at the problem, looking at, what our measurable targets would be, and then looking at the root cause analysis and seeing how we could really resolve and just ensure that people always try to resolve problems and being more innovative in their way of resolving issues. Our engagement grew by 78%, right, when we deployed this. And also, this also strengthened our hurdles, like I previously had mentioned, and our Gemba adoption rates went high. And then we also introduced the monthly Gemba schedules and the Lean Playbook training for all our sites. So we just continued what we were doing just to ensure that the improvements, keep coming up. Sabina, next slide. Okay, so in November 2024, we decided to do another reassessment where we noticed that our new assessment score were about 4.3, which is also a high jump from the last time we had checked. We also looked at our strong areas, which is our communication and standard work have gone really high. And our focus for 2025, which is, we always ensure that we look at the weakened areas, which were also from the leadership transparency and also visible lane sponsorship and also Gemba work consistency. So these were primarily the spaces that we focused on for 2025 after our assessments. And then some of the initiatives that we had deployed was to sort of start a lean championship program where we were able to mentor some of the team members in the organization to become lean champions, and we're able to offer them certifications from the Clinics Academy. And then we also created forums like lesson learned forums where people are able to see areas where they might have, learned one or two, and obviously maybe from some improvement areas that probably did not work well, we're able to open spaces that people could talk about using our Asana platform. And also we are able to structure our Gemba reporting. So rather than just going for the Gemba work, we ensure that leaders are able to report on this and put this in a structured format where we're able to have actionable steps in ensuring that we improve, areas that we find during the Gemba work. Next slide, please.
Aisha, we're almost out of time. I don't know if you're...
I think, yeah, so I'm already done. So lessons learned basically is, of course, leadership is lived, not declared, and assessments are not audit. So assessments are just a continuous way for learning, and of course, adopting lean means we keep on tailoring our daily practices into diverse realities across our departments. Okay, yeah, so the next slide just tells us how our impact has increased from a level 3 to a level 4 in 18 months. And then, the tangible results we could see, like I said, is the stronger daily huddles, consistent 8-way reporting, and then also higher staff engagement and ownership. So lean has become more like a culture for us at EHA Clinics, and this is basically how we go about our life and systems and our processes in the organization. So I think we can just move into the closing remarks and closing reflection, which is in the next slide over now. Yeah, so basically, like I said, lean, helped us in terms of our culture shifts, also brought about, a lot of humility amongst our leaders, our supervisors, our managers, and also created a disciplined execution, meaning that for every problem or for every improvement area that anyone in the organization wants to improve, there's a structured way around going that and seeing, the trends of improvement over time. So I would stop here just because of time, and then we could listen to questions. Over to you, Ovena.
Okay, thank you, Aisha, for that brilliant. You maximized the time very well. Thank you. So I thank you, participants, for listening. I don't know if we have any questions. We could briefly look at them, because on the Q&A section, I do not have any questions yet, even in the chat room. So I don't know, would you like to maybe quickly, if you raise your hand, maybe I could give at least one person an opportunity to speak quickly. Anyone can speak. If I see your hand raised, you're able to do that from your own side of Zoom. Then it will give me a signal here, and then I'll give you an opportunity to speak. Okay, so I guess we have no questions, Aisha.
Okay.
So that
I mean, I
brings
think
us,
that's okay.
yeah, so this brings us to the end of the event. I hope you were able to pick a few things, even though we had some technical issues that hindered us from joining in on time. But we still have another session from EHA Clinics at 2 p.m. So if you check through the schedule of speakings, you could have another opportunity to hear us again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again, Aisha. And
Thank
let's
you.
stay ahead. Bye, everyone.
Bye.